Welcome, Hoardlings, to another Game Hoarder production. It's the year 2023, the year in which we will wrap up as many games and wrap up as many unfinished series as we can. Of course, we've started a lot of things, but this is Runaway, the third installment, Twist of Fate. In a game in which we've LP'd the first two, but not this last one, which, by the way, was a complete pain in the ball sack to get going. We'll be Paper Baghead guy. And for some reason, you have to make a password on your account so your little brother can't log into your shit and delete it. Weirdest thing I've seen in an adventure point-and-click game, but let's get to the intro here. My password is, of course, fuck.
Hi, Gina Timmons. Who's calling?
I'm calling you from the Happydale Mental Hospital.
What's the matter?
We need you to come in right away. I have the unfortunate duty of informing you that a terrible accident.
Et comedisti deligno, et quo praecere eram tibi, ne comederes maledicta terra, in opere tuo, in laboribus comedes eam cuntis diebus via tua.
And we will prove that last April 30th on Mile Island, Colonel Kortzmeyer was murdered by Brian Basco in cold blood. The defense will attempt to confuse you with trickery and lies.
Los germinavi tibi, et comedes herbas terrae, in sudore vultus tui, vesceris panedon, revertari, in terram de quo assuntus escuia pulvis, es et in pulverem reversem.
Order!
For the last time, Mr. Basco, tell us what you remember.
I don't remember anything.
Oh, yes. Amnesia. If you think you'll get off by pretending to be insane, then you've really lost your mind.
I want order!
Ava eo quod mater essent, cunctorum viventium. Feci quo querenimus Deus Adam et uxorieis tunicas pelligias et induiteos. Et aite que Adam factus es quasi unus et nobis sciens.
And given the doubts created by the defendant's mental health, he will be admitted into Happydale Psychiatric Hospital, where Dr. Bennett will determine whether his supposed insanity has any basis in reality. I'm postponing this trial until then.
No! I'm not crazy!
Gina!
Runaway, a titty twist of fate. Memory of Brian Basco. It's a good little series. Great animation. Some good storytelling. Let's start off with Chapter 1. Brian Basco is dead? I don't fucking believe it. See?
Brian?
It's me.
What's your game? You call me telling me I have to identify a headless body to say it's yours, and then you've vanished for 2 days?
Get me out of here.
I went to your bogus burial and... All right. Where are you?
Buried in my grave.
That can't be. How am I gonna get you out of there? This is insane. Get me out of this tomb, say nothing to anyone. Be careful, murderers waiting at exit. Battery low, come quick, banana. Banana? I don't know what went down in Hawaii, or what they did to you in that psychiatric ward. I don't know why you escaped, or why you faked your own death. I don't know how you got down there. I don't even know whether you're the Brian I know. All I want is for everything to go back to normal. That's all right, though. I won't ask for help, I won't call the cops, and I won't leave the cemetery. But I will get you out of there. You win, Brian. We'll play it your way.
That's right, Hooker. And who the fuck decided to give me this big gay pink wreath?
It came with a really cute purple ribbon, too. I don't know. Carrying that around would be a chore. But the ribbon alone...
All right,
It'll be a great
so
souvenir
here we
from
are,
Brian's
folks.
boating
I decided to do a point-and-click adventure. It's been a while. We're going to be returning back to Buck Rogers and everything else here real soon as well. But you know, when I get that point-and-click itch, I got to scratch it.
It's sure an ugly thing, poor birdie.
That raven is not ugly.
Graves, graves, and more graves. Huh, I hope I don't have to find anything among them. It would take me everlasting eternity.
So yeah, I don't know what the fuck is going on with this, but my dilemma getting this game to run correctly was, first of all, there's no window mode. None of the force window programs seem to work. The Steam version, if you try to change the resolution, it automatically, defaults back to 1280 by 720, which is fine because that's the best way to record this, honestly. But anyways, I ended up paying an extra 99 cents for the GOG.com, the GOG version, and was able to get a window, except there's a huge black border around that window that fills up the rest of my screen. And as many of you know, I am running a Galaxy G9 Samsung 49-inch ultra-wide. So yeah, kind of hard to see my Bandicam. So what I did was I took a dry erase marker, I booted the game up, I drew around the corners of the window, then I alt-tabbed out to Bandicam, and I fit that window within the dry erase marker corners, and then I started recording blindly, basically, once I launched the game. So yeah, I've already done this full chapter 1 once and fucked it up, so we're going to go do it here a second time and hopefully not fuck it up.
The door is open. Wow,
But yeah.
What a luxurious crypt. It's amazing how some of these dead people live. Huh, what a strange cable. It looks like it's coming in through that dome. Let's take a look. A ladder here? Huh?
Hello, dear.
Hello?
Up here, on the roof.
Do I know you?
Well, of course not, dear. I'm Agatha Saffron von Rubenstein, PhD in parapsychology and poltergeistian phenomena from the University of Virginia, member of the North American Parapsychological Association, and also I'm a medium. Because I like it.
Nice to meet you. I'm Gina Timmons.
It's amazing, my dear, how much pain is in your aura. Come inside. I'll help you stop
she
your
said.
suffering. Hurry, I'll be right down.
So yeah, you guys know what a glutton for punishment I am.
this is an interesting
I like
start.
recording games that are hard to record, and this is certainly fucking one of them. Let's go talk to Agatha and her 5-head.
Agatha?
Hello, dear. Let's start from the very beginning. How long is it you've been dead now?
What? No, I'm alive. As far as I know.
Oh, well, isn't that a shame? You really could have helped me out here.
Well, sorry. Helped you what?
To find out whether the spirits in this cemetery are on my side or not. Reverend McCormick asked me to find out why the poltergeists infesting this graveyard are here. But first, I must know if they're on my side or not.
Is something weird going on in this cemetery?
Weird? Not at all. Well, the only strange thing is it seems like a UN summit with such an international set of spirits. Besides that, just the usual. Miscellaneous poltergeists and a hideous past tormenting the primordial energy here, which, by the way, is centered precisely inside this crypt.
Why do you say the cemetery seems like the UN?
Because there are spirits from many different countries,
China.
France, Germany, Spain, Brazil, Sweden, Egypt, Australia.
Oh, my
and a
puppet's
few
here.
from right here, like you.
Agatha, I am not a ghost. I'm not even dead.
You're not? Well, have it your way.
What's so hideous about the past of this crypt?
A horrific, shameful, and hideous crime. During the Civil War, before this graveyard was here, this used to be a Yankee prison.
Wow, how interesting. Go on.
On the night of April 24th,
fuck, here we go.
1864,
Story time.
a captain of the Confederacy, Noah Kilgore, was waiting to be executed. He had come to terms with death, but during a change of guards, his luck changed too. The lieutenant in charge of watching him was Philemon Kilgore, his own brother.
Two brothers fighting on opposite sides?
Civil war is always fratricidal, dear. Brother against brother. That's what it consists of. But anyway, Noah pleaded with his brother to let him go. And though Philemon didn't want to betray his army, his brotherly love won out, and he let his brother escape.
What's so horrific and shameful about that? Sounds like a nice story to me. Almost corny.
Don't jump the gun, dear. As soon as Philemon set him free, Noah whacked his brother over the head and left him unconscious. He exchanged clothes with Philemon and stuck him in the cell.
Of course. The brothers bore such a resemblance that nobody noticed the difference, right?
Yes, but Noah didn't want his brother to give up the big secret, so he set fire to his brother's cell. End of story.
The end? That awful murderer didn't get punished?
Well, eventually he died, of course. Several years later,
Of
after becoming
dysentery.
a hero for the Yankees.
Hey, the real heroine of this story is me for staying awake.
A war hero? That's not fair.
Wait, dear. After he burned Philemon alive, a voice tormented Noah in his dreams. It said, "Come to me, brother. As I burned, so shall you."
Like me, I'm burning with a desire for you to end the story.
And?
And one day, driven mad by Philemon's voice, Noah returned to this place, and sure as sin, he was burned alive.
Holy shit, right.
Huh? And what was the purpose of telling me this saga?
Noah and Philemon's tormented souls are the most powerful in this graveyard. They make up its primordial energy core, and I need their consent before contacting any other spirits.
So what do these poltergeists, which Reverend McCormick is so scared of, do?
Oh, lots of mischief. You know how these spirits can be. They drag chains, howl, lift their skirts when nuns come by, suddenly appear before visitors. They're such rascals.
Okay, this is getting pretty gross. Let's talk about something else. Tell me about that cable you slid down.
My parabiothermal cable? Well, it detects sudden changes in temperature caused by paranormal phenomena.
Like in the movies, when a ghost is going to appear and everything starts to look cold?
More or less. But in movies, they never quite get these things right. The more subdued spirits, like the ones in this crypt, display their temper using temperatures. If they are displeased by a presence, they emit heat. But if they are happy, they give off cold.
How does that cable work?
Very well, dear. Its filaments are temperature sensitive. If there
This
is
is
a variation
information
of
that
more
we
than
need to
20
know
degrees Celsius in
for
less
puzzles
than 5
that lie
seconds,
ahead.
they send a signal to the ectothermal scanning machine outside the crypt. By analyzing its readings, I am able to determine the temperament or mood of the spirit that caused the thermal change. Pretty simple, isn't it?
So why did you put it right here?
Because I need to know whether the spirits in the crypt who are in charge around here are happy with my presence. If they emit cold temperatures, I can make contact with any spirit in this cemetery. But if they give off heat, then I'd better clear out. And Reverend McCormick will just have to find another medium.
Fascinating, Agatha, but let me ask you something else. See you later, Agatha.
Whenever you want, dear.
All right, bitch. Fine, I don't want to talk to you anymore anyways.
There's a bit of everything. A backpack, tape recorder, a Ouija board, a dried out lemon, a flashlight. I bet that flashlight could be useful. But Brian always says that when you find things like this, the batteries are always dead. Agatha, does that flashlight work?
I just changed the batteries yesterday. Take it if you like.
I shall.
That proves Brian's first law wrong. Yikes! What a welcoming place. Huh? A tunnel? Wait a second. If I've got this right, then behind that wall is the hole they buried Brian in. Not that that improves things much, but at least now I know I have two options. Either move the slab of stone off the grave and start digging, at the risk that somebody might see me, or break through this wall. Doesn't look easy. But at least I'm not out in the wide open with nosy people walking by.
True.
Let's see what this says. Captain Noah W. Kilgore, 1823 to
Yankee
1864.
Doodle there in the background.
A Confederate soldier buried in New York. That's weird. Yes, that's the thing to do. Darn. Someone could have put a hole, tunnel, lever, or something else that might make it easier for me to reach Brian. I have no other choice but to remove one of these blocks of stone. But which? Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. I think it'll be best to choose that one in the middle with the ring. It'll be easier to remove than the ones on the side.
It will be. What are we dealing with here? Holy shit! Okay. We want subtitles on. Let's go ahead and save.
It gives me the creeps, but Brian is behind that wall. So if I don't take the urn, I might end up spilling its contents.
Wouldn't want to do that now,
would
would
be
we?
worse if they poured out into my pocket. Didn't something like that traumatize a character on 6 Feet Under for years?
I don't know. I heard that show's pretty gay. Just kidding.
It's made of metal. That looks pretty hard.
That's what she said. All right, let's see how many "That's What She Said" jokes I can pull off in this LP. We're two. We're at 2. All right, so we know/think Brian Basco is behind this wall. So our mission now is to get him free by pulling out this stone. We need to explore around the graveyard a little bit. I still can't believe the shit I had to go through to record this. I had to draw on my monitor, folks. Careful to use dry erase and not permanent when doing so.
I've been here before when the hearse brought Brian in. Let's see if it's open.
Ta-da!
Flat spare tire. What a driver. Nice calendar he's got here. An old blanket. Oh, and one of those straps they use to lower coffins into the grave. I'll just borrow that.
That's all you ever do in a point-and-click adventure. You borrow things.
Hey, this thing's keys are in the ignition. Something tells me it won't work. Okay, it works, but enough is enough. Someone might show up.
Whoa. Little man.
If things start to get ugly when I get Brian out, at least we have a way to escape now. Father, I'm trimming the hedges. If you need me to put the coffins together, ring the bell. Signed by someone named Luann.
All right, so we need to ring that bell.
Man, it's darker in here than when we came for Brian's pseudo-funeral. I guess Reverend McCormick turned out all the lights when he left. It's so dark in here, I can't read a word.
We happen to have a light source, folks. Let's use it.
Okay, let's see what it's about. Yikes, could it be any spookier? It's a list of names with the dates and places of birth and death and the location of the person's grave.
Okay, that's good knowledge, I think.
That's the homeliest doormat I've ever seen. It doesn't even have a sad little plastic flower or a welcome message. Let's see if it works. Nope. Either it's broken or it's locked shut. Yeah, looks like there's something underneath. A trap door. They better not keep their dog in there.
Fucking hope so.
That might be useful. Considering where I found it, it seems pretty clean.
All right. We got a glove. Now that we've lifted this little trapdoor up, we can probably reach this box up here.
Let's see what happens if I climb on this. Why, yes! It was a wooden box. Think there's something inside? Hey, a key.
Voila!
I wonder what it's for.
Possibly a door. Right in front.
Let's see if it fits this lock. Okay, once I rescue Brian, I'll bring it back here. Someone told me that in the olden days, these baskets didn't have such long handles, but they added them when it was discovered rich people always sit as far away from the aisle as possible.
Ring ding dong, ring a ding 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 dong.
Your order's coming right up, Mr. Reverend Sir. Box is for the deceased in a jiffy. Don't you worry your holy old self for nothing.
Hurry up, little mama.
Well, looks like I managed to get that janitor girl to come. I hope Reverend McCormick doesn't show up at some point and ruin my
Janitor
plan.
girl, that's racist.
Hello?
Wait. You're the gal from that crazy guy's funeral.
Reminds me of a skinnier
Is
version
that where
of
I
that
saw you
fat
before?
bitch from Borderlands.
Yeah, I guess.
Okay, but don't come crying to Luann. I'm busier than a bee in a beehive. Gotta run. See ya.
Wow, you are so insensitive.
Oh, all right, sorry. My sincerest condolences and all that. Thing about this job is that you just get sick of all them weepy widows always crying at you. Anything else?
What's got you so busy, Luann?
Well, this here, can't you see? I've got to get these coffins together before the Tombs for Everyone charity benefit. But the instruction manual's in gibberish and I can't understand a word. But if anyone can get this done, I can.
I've never heard of do-it-yourself coffins before.
Me neither. But the old Reverend bought these unassembled on the internet, and I've just got to deal with it. They're cheaper than pig's milk, but they're good enough for your final rest.
Well, I can think of a case or two in which that might just come in handy. What exactly does Tombs for Everyone consist of?
Well, it's this thing where if you're poor and you kick the bucket, everything's on the house. We pay for the coffin, the hole, the wreath, the stone slab. As the old Reverend says, we won't die for you, but almost.
What's up with the manual?
Well, it's in Swedish, and not even a schoolmaster can understand it. It's like Chinese, but worse, because you can find a Chinaman anywhere, but who in tarnation knows where to find a Swede?
Would you let me see the assembly manual? I don't know, maybe I could help.
Besides being a rich city slicker, you figure you're some sort of engineer, huh? Well, take it.
Doesn't look easy, but we'll have to try.
You thought I'd just have one manual and wouldn't let you borrow it, huh? Well, Luann's accepting help today, so if you can understand any of that gibberish...
What's behind that big door?
My tools. But get close to them and I'll punch your lights out. They're mine, got that?
This bitch ain't playing.
Dang, it's getting colder and colder in here.
What if I asked you for one tool and promised to return it right away?
What if I smacked you once, but then smacked you again 2 seconds later?
Just out of curiosity, what kind of tools do you have?
Man, I got more than the little furry balls on an old sweater. They're mostly garden tools, but I also got the circular saw and the hole-making thing, and the one that puts staples, and the circular saw, and...
You already said that.
What, the circular saw? That's 'cause I like it more than the field without cow pies. It cuts through metal things like a hot knife through butter.
Okay, already, forget it. Talk to you later. I don't want to make you late.
So what do you think you've been doing up to now? This city slicker's not too swift. Shoot!
Hammer, pliers, file, scissors. This thin one here seems most familiar to me.
I don't know.
What are you-
Filing nails, maybe?
Shoot!
How weird. It's on, but it's empty.
Well, of course. Who would be such a numbskull as to put something in there?
Why's that?
Because it's always on the fritz, and no sooner do you stick something in it than it goes pow, and it deep freezes everything to the core, so careful. Man, I don't know why I'm even warning her.
So we got a super freezer down here.
Excuse me, Luann?
Can't you see I'm tied up here? What is it that you want now?
You do have an unusual job for a woman.
When my Uncle Bobby Ray retired, he was the maintenance man around here, and he told the old Reverend what a hard-working, decent country girl I am. And what do you know? I left behind my sheep and came here to the Big Apple.
Don't you miss your family?
Man, especially my papa and my brothers. Bobby Joe, Billy Bob, Bobby Jack, Billy Sue, Billy Bob, Billy Joe, Bobby Sue, Billy Bill, and, well, I don't care much for the other ones.
Where are you from?
From Catalina Boulder in Shawangunk Ridge, a long ways from here. It's little, but it's got all you need. Cattle, swine, sheep, people, mules, chickens, ducks. Oh, and the Sunday ball.
Say ducks, because the subtitle said dogs. I'm pretty sure they fucked up with the family, too.
Don't tell me you herded sheep.
Yep, and if you giggle, I'll whack you good.
No, it's just that my dad takes care of sheep, too.
Well, I'll be a lamb's fingernail. I knew I liked you. So how'd his daughter become such a fancy city slicker?
Kids don't always turn out the way we expect them, do they? If I'd stayed back home, well, forget it. So, how did you get this job?
When my Uncle Bobby Ray retired, he was the maintenance man around here, and he told...
You know, I don't...
all the...
If you're in such a hurry, why don't you leave?
'Cause the old Reverend rang the bell so I would assemble some coffins for him, and I ain't budging until I get at least one thrown together.
Like most adventure games, you want to exhaust all the dialogue options, because if you don't, you might not be unlocking certain options later on.
I've never heard of do-it-yourself coffins before.
Of course, but only as long as it's from the outside. The weird thing would be if you could take them apart from the inside.
Well, I can think of a case or two in which that might just come in handy. What exactly does Tombs for Everyone consist of?
Well, it's this thing where if you're poor and you kick the bucket, everything's on the house. We pay for the coffin, the hole, the wreath, the stone slab. As the old Reverend says, we won't die for you, but almost.
I don't really...
It'd be better if you just let me work.
Talk to you.
Okay.
All right, I think we've
See you
talked enough to
around, then.
Luann here.
Shoot!
Doing the old double click fast travel.
File the block? Of course. I can file away the mortar between the other blocks, and then it'll be easier to move. File that mortar down. Let's get to it.
Wasabi. No, the broad's still inside, and I'm starting to get knackered.
It says broad, not girl.
We're on it. Yo, Fatzilla, bad news, dude. Seems we can't go in. We have to wait for her here, then follow her. You have such a way with words.
Well, that wasn't easy, but I managed to file all of the mortar away.
Got a couple of assassins hanging outside waiting for us. Never good.
Okay, so I got rid of the mortar, but I wonder if I can drag away the stone with the strap.
She is familiar with strap-ons. Now, obviously, we're going to need more than that. We're going to need more oomph. She's not going to be able to drag that by herself. So let us exit.
Brian's text message said not to leave the cemetery, but I don't see what's wrong with approaching the front gate. Ernie? You're still here?
Gina Basco. How's it going, kid?
Great, fine. I mean, actually terrible. I'm distraught. Thanks for attending the funeral.
Oh, well, I was Basco's favorite orderly, and he was my favorite nut job. How could I miss his funeral? What's more, Happydale didn't send anyone to it. But of course, with everything that's going on down there, that place is like crazy. Hey, Gina, I got a joke for you. You ain't nothing but a mad dog.
That's not a joke, dumbass.
Thanks for sticking around, but don't you worry about me. I'm fine. You can go ahead and leave.
Hey, it's no problem, babe. Plus, you're such a hottie. Worrying about you is a pleasure.
Well, you can tell they made this game before everything got PC.
There's something I need to tell you about Brian.
Shoot, babe. I'm all ears.
Did you notice anything strange about him in his final days?
You know what, babe? I think Brian knew he had something coming. He was nervous-like. Couldn't stop pacing around, talking to one guy, then another. It's as if he had a sixth sense telling him, get a move on, kid. Things are almost over with here. Wait, I almost forgot. Brian's the one with the bag. Looks good on him, huh?
Clearly he adapted to his new environment pretty well.
Yeah, well, we took this picture the day before Brian, just keep it. It's all yours.
How original. I didn't know people gave gifts at funerals, but thanks.
Nothing's too good for my favorite brunette, darling. If I hadn't fallen in love with Luann today, I'd have done even more.
I'm glad you fell in love with Luann then.
Did you hear him talk about some place he would have liked to visit?
Not that I can remember now. No.
What do you know about Brian's attempted escape?
Nothing. Just what people were saying. That he tried to escape through the air ducts and that his head got chopped off by a big fan. Poor nut job.
Who else could tell me more about Brian's final days?
The guys who knew Brian best at Happydale were Dr. Bennett, who's now missing, and his fellow escapees, Jacob Kurgan and Gabbo Spiegelman. You're going to have a hard time, babe.
One other thing. Brian is alive.
Babe, Brian will always be alive in our memories. But you need to turn the page and live your own life. Once I get over this Luann thing, I'll call you up and help you.
What did you really think about Brian?
Well, Ernie already told you. Brian was his favorite nut job. What do you mean?
Do you think Brian murdered Kordsmeyer?
Kordsmeyer was that military brass, right? Hey, I don't know, babe. Maybe he did and maybe he didn't. You never know with these nut jobs.
Do you really think Brian was insane?
Obviously, babe. Crazier than a cuckoo.
By the way, I guess nobody doubts Brian is dead. Like, totally dead, right?
Well, maybe I shouldn't tell you this, but there's rumors that when they found him, he was a bit... how should I put it?
Headless? I know, Ernie. I'm the one who identified his body.
Oh, babe, that's horrible. Then why are you asking this stuff? Who'd know better than you?
Maybe I just need to get used to not talking about Brian all day long.
It's normal, babe. He's always on your mind.
Why did you say the psychiatric hospital is like crazy?
Haven't you heard, hon? Just 2 days ago, right when Brian keeled over, 2 inmates escaped, and Dr. Bennett disappeared. An office ceiling collapsed, and a nurse who just got hired decided to quit. And she was some major eye candy, that little lady. Ooh.
Could you tell me about everything that's happened lately at Happydale?
Why, sure. 2 inmates escaped, and Dr. Bennett disappeared. An office ceiling collapsed, and a nurse who just got hired decided to quit.
Bennett disappeared? The same Dr. Bennett that was treating Brian?
The very same. I don't know if he'd finished his report for the judge, determining whether Brian was crazy or not. But who cares at this point?
Which 2 inmates escaped?
That'll be Jacob Kurgan and Gabbo Spiegelman. From what I've heard, all 3 tried to skip the nut house together, but Brian got the worst part.
Don't you think it's weird that so many unusual things happened in such a short time?
Nope. It's like that movie. Unfortunate events always seem to happen in a series.
Getting back to our last topic. Don't call me Basco. My last name is Timmons.
Oh, snap!
You're ashamed of Basco. Of Brian. Wow. And he never stopped talking about how much he loved you and what a hottie you were. And he wasn't hallucinating either.
I'm not ashamed of Brian. No matter how nerdy he can be, he's the kindest man I've ever met.
Well, considering the string of gems you've come across in the past. Brian told me all your exes were, not very recommendable bachelors.
I'd hate to have to give up my father's last name. I've already abused it so much as it is.
Well then, were you using your own name in that place where you used to dance? I thought you would have made up some kind of stage name, like Bubbles or Candy Cane.
How do you know about that? Damn Brian! He's gonna hear from me. He's gonna learn to keep his big fat mouth shut.
I don't mean to take sides, but I think Brian's already learned a thing or two about keeping quiet.
Brian and I aren't married. I'm not really sure what you'd call our relationship.
Well then, you're not a widow, and he's nothing more than a deceased friend.
Just drop it. My last name is none of your business.
Okay, babe.
I need to go back to Brian's grave a while. You understand.
Don't let it get to you, babe. Whatever doesn't kill you just makes you smell better.
Yeah, I think we had enough talking to Fatso Elvis from Wish.com here. The main thing is to get the picture from that dialogue.
Seems like they're fixing the outer wall. Yeah, these things can rust really fast. Let's see. The shovel. No, kind of creepy in a cemetery. And those metal thingies? No. Cement. What's that? Oh, I know. I'll take one of these adjustable tubular items you can use to prop things up. That might be useful.
That's called a jack, honey bunny. That's okay. You pretty. You pretty. And we're going to use that jack-o'-lack right here. Notice we have another one of these straps here on the back of Atlas's boulder, or the Earth, I should say. The world. Of course, Atlas is the god or titan. The titan, I should say, that carried the Earth on his back. Let's give him some leverage if I can get the jack working here.
I don't see why I should do that for now.
Because you need a second strap
I
on.
could stick it in the empty space between the I don't see...
So this is a case where you have to investigate certain parts of the game before it allows you to do anything else.
It seems like a good way to remove the stone block, but I'm not strong enough.
We gotta look at it.
The ends are attached using a small hook. I don't know if I can, but I'll try. Ah, yikes! The strap is on so tight that there's no way to get it off.
Right, but if you weren't such a dumb twat, you'd use the jack on it.
Good idea. And when the strap gets a little bit less
now
tight,
it's a good idea.
I'll finally be able to take it off.
I'm just trying to look at your butt.
Looky there, now I have two.
Okay, and we can strap on our strap-on to the other strap-on.
I like that. But first, I should find out where I need to tie the other end I have hanging loose here.
Fair enough.
From up here, I can see how the giant angel is anchored better. I'm not even gonna try. That won't work. I think I've come up with better ideas before. Another one? No, wait. It's completely useless with my bare hands.
Well, we gotta attach it to this statue.
Good idea.
There we go.
Though besides that, I think I've come up with another one of my brilliant ideas.
There you go, honey bunny.
I know it seems a bit strange, but, well, it might work.
All right, Agatha, we need your help with this manual.
Could you translate this manual for me? It's in Swedish.
Is Swedish a dead language?
I don't think so.
Then I can't help you, dear. Though, if you find the grave of a Swede here in the graveyard, I can ask him or her to translate it for you. But wait. First, let me think. First, I should make certain that the primordial energy in the graveyard is benign. In other words, I have to wait for the spirits infesting this crypt to express their presence by giving off the usual phantom chill.
All right, we gotta find a Swedish ghost in the graveyard to help Agatha complete her work before she will do the translation. Let's head back to the Calda Nutsack for now. Now notice we have a fountain over here, so what we're going to do is we're going to take our little fancy glove and fill it with water.
Yes, I can turn it into a water bottle. If it doesn't have any holes in it, that is.
Just find out, you pessimist.
Looks like a cartoon character glove.
Man,
Okay,
it's
why the heck
cold.
not? Let's see how long it takes to freeze.
1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi. Pow! It's already frozen.
Pow! It's already frozen.
No, I need something to help me keep it frozen once I've taken it out.
Oh.
I don't know if they'll fit, but ready. Okay, Gina, you spilled more outside the box than you poured in.
So we're going
But
to
I
dump
don't
the
think party
ashes into the
concern will.
box.
You haven't been sleeping well, you're exhausted and nervous, and do you know how hard it is to pour ashes without expert help?
It's not that hard, bitch. Just do it. So now we have this urn, which apparently is like a Yeti urn.
That's it. I can use the urn as a thermos so that the ice doesn't melt or freeze my pocket. I hope my hand doesn't go cryogenic.
What if?
Luann was right. It's frozen solid.
Just stick my penis in that fridge.
Cold.
Might help. Back up.
Why would I do that?
Because we're trying to freeze that shit, you skank.
No, I'm not doing that.
You will do that.
According to Agatha, it detects sudden temperature changes, both hot and cold.
Exactly.
No, since stairs were invented...
We're trying to make it cold, you dumb bitch.
I'm not even gonna try.
Maybe I have to do it from downstairs? Yes, I actually did, or I did finish this the other day, and now I can't remember.
That sounds good.
Oh, it works from down
The
here.
cable has no plastic coating, so it'll be much more sensitive to the cold than the rest.
My bad, boo-boo.
Let's see.
A thermal manifestation! Oh, my spirits. What lovely creatures.
Hey, it worked. I feel bad about tricking Agatha, but I guess I've done worse things in my time. And with a lot less payoff than now. What about Agatha? Oh, there she is. Hey, Agatha, what are you doing here?
Congratulate me, dear. They gave me permission.
Congratulations. Who gave you permission and what for?
Didn't you hear the ectothermal machine beeping? The spirits of the Kilgore brothers, the primordial energy force in this graveyard, have authorized me to proceed with my research on their turf.
Oh, wow, how cool.
So you need not fear anything any longer, dear. Just answer me honestly. Why is your tormented spirit still wandering through this world?
Because I'm not dead yet?
Come on, are you sure?
I'd bet my life on it, but there are other things I'm not so sure about.
Oh, you have questions? Tell me. I'm your medium.
Heard any more voices from beyond the grave?
What are you talking about, dear? Oh, no. Ever since I left that crypt, not a peep, not a wailing sob, not a boo, not a thing.
What are you doing out here?
Nothing, dear. I'm verifying the tests performed by the ectothermal scanning machine to check the sudden parabiothermal coldness detected in the Kilgore crypt.
What did you need to translate the manual into Swedish?
If you find the grave of a Swede here in the graveyard, I can ask him or her to translate it for you.
See you around, Agatha.
Goodbye, dear.
Damn. Just clipped her. Alright, so what we want to do now is go back to the Cold Nutsack, into the chapel, and then we want to use our manual here.
Huh? If a person is in this directory, that means they're dead, doesn't it? However...
Looking for a Swedish name.
Ingerman Holgren, born in Norrköping, Sweden, and his grave is in Sector D, Path 2, Aisle... Here it is! But the truth is, I don't know why I'm so incredibly happy. I mean, I just found a dead guy, and considering where I am, that's not exactly an amazing feat. Hey, Agatha. Now that the spirits in charge around here are your friends, think you could help me with that Swedish manual?
Oh, dear. It completely slipped my mind. Now, where was that poor man?
Ingerman Holgren. Here he is.
Now, my dear, You just wait for me over there.
But
I need some peace now to get my capacity for understanding to rise to the world of the spirits. Ingerman, I invoke you. Ingerman, come and show yourself. Oh. Munter Instruktionen. Let's see what this book says. Instructions for the assembly.
Agatha, what you just did is absolutely amazing.
Oh, my dear, you've no idea.
Really, thanks to you, I have just what I needed. The fully translated Flichting Coffin Assembly Manual.
And now we'll give the translated book to Luan.
I'm catching cold.
What would you say if I told you that I had translated the Coffin Assembly Manual?
That if you're lying, I'll smack you upside the head. Oh, my sweet lordy. Wow. Yes, this'll be a cinch. Now, in 5 minutes, I can do this body box. Then I'll get gussied up and it's off to the bowling alley with Ernie. So, will you show the coffin to the Reverend and close up the workshop for me?
Okay, fine. You run along. Don't worry.
So, it turns out you're a real nice person after all. Move out, Ernie.
I'll be seeing you later, hot duck.
At last, I'm alone.
I can masturbate. I mean, open the big wooden
Finally.
door. And get the circular saw.
There's Luann's famous circular saw. It's heavy, but I'm sure I will be needing it. Yeah, it's such a silly idea that it might even work. But I don't know what I could attach them together with. What am I saying? What about the ribbon from the funeral wreath? Come on, let's get down to work. That turned out even better than I expected. Let's see how well it holds.
Alright, we got our strange contraption. Let's head back inside the crypt and fuck shit up. Now's our chance to test out our cable.
Oh my god, what a mess I've made. Yes, the stone moved. Although, when Reverend McCormick comes back, I know one parapsychologist who's gonna have a lot of explaining to do. Poor old woman. Oh well. Huh, that pole must have fallen off after what happened with the angel. I'll put it back in place so I don't trip. I'd rather keep it.
Change of heart. Good girl. We're gonna need it to bash through this brick.
Great idea. Bring it on, Gina.
No,
Ryan, if you
Gina,
can hear me,
no cry.
stay away from the wall. Hi-ya!
All right, folks.
Brian?
What, you don't know where he is?
Who are you?
The guy who sent you the text message. Banana!
Wait a minute. You're
He's got
Gabbo,
Tourette's.
Brian's friend from the psychiatric hospital. What are you doing in here?
Sleeping. I didn't intend to stay in the box. I got in before the burial. I was gonna try to meet you afterwards. To find out where Basco is, but it turns out you don't know either. Improvise, Spiegelman.
Did you fall asleep inside the grave?
Narcolepsy. Let's go.
Where to?
Out. To find the only guy who can help Basco.
Weren't there some thugs by the exit?
I'll kill one guy, you take the other. How's that?
Are you nuts?
Okay. Let's try to Steve McQueen. I'll need a couple of cars.
This is going to wrap it up for Chapter 1, folks. We'll see you soon for Chapter 2.
That wait was so boring, man. What the...
Hurry up, get in!
Okay, she got away. No, we'll find her. That little slapper's dead, I swear.